Excellency Timothy Silva, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Member of Council of Ministers of Apple, and Chief Host of the first African Local Content Roundtable, other ministers here present, Engineer Simbi Kesiewabote, Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, the organizers of this very important continental energy initiative, delegates from Apple and other African countries, leaders of the industry on the continent, ladies and gentlemen. I should like to begin by commending Apple member country, Nigeria, for this far-sighted initiative of convening the first continent-wide oil and gas local content roundtable, whose objective, according to Minister Silva, is to institutionalize peer review mechanism among African oil-producing countries on local content as a key development imperative for domestication and sustainable growth of Africa's hydrocarbon resources. Excellency, I make bold to say that the timing of this initiative could not have been better, considering the threat posed to the oil and gas industry by energy transition. It is no news to say that most governments of Apple member countries, and indeed other oil and gas producing and exporting countries on the African continent, are heavily dependent on oil and gas export revenue to meet their daily obligations to the state and to the people. And this dependence is not set to abate in the very near future, as not much progress has been made towards weaning our national economies from oil and gas dependence. On the other hand, the world has been moving aggressively away from fossil fuels to renewable energies, especially since the Paris Climate Change Agreement, popularly called COP21, was signed by world leaders, including African leaders, in 2015. The essence of COP21 is to reduce fossil fuel use by 20%, increase renewable fuel use by 20%, and both to be achieved by the year 2020. The base year was 1990. That is within a period of 30 years. Although progress towards achieving that goal has been mixed, that can be attributed to the decision of the United States to withdraw from the agreement after signing it. Today, the United States is back and determined to aggressively pursue that objective, evidenced in the appointment of John Kerry as climate change advisor in the White House. Even without US support, the world have moved on with a program aimed at bringing an end to fossil fuel use as quickly as possible, at any rate, not later than the middle of this century. Some even say earlier. They have done this by introducing discriminatory policies against fossil fuels. International financial institutions from the World Bank, IMF, European Development Bank, and others have all stopped or plan to stop funding fossil fuel projects. Even the IOCs that build their fortunes from oil are today redirecting their major investments away from oil and gas. Beyond financial institutions and the IOCs, even educational and research institutions that have for decades become centers of innovation for the industry are closing their petroleum faculties in order to be seen to be in conformity with the new global paradigm shift. What are the implications of these developments for us in Africa, with proven oil reserves of over 100 billion still in our ground, and whose economies, as I stated earlier, are still heavily dependent on export oil revenue? Are we ready to forego the production of those 100 billion barrels and classify them as wasted assets? One of the implications of these developments is that in the next few years, advancements in new technologies in the industry will come to a halt. Second, financing will dry. Third, influx of capable hands into the industry and the renewal of skills will all come to a halt. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when we remember that our country's dependency on oil is threefold, namely, dependency for revenue, dependency for technology, and dependency for human capacity in the industry, the gravity of the threat to Africa of the world's aggressive pursuit of energy transition stares us in the face. It is these realities that makes today's event most timely. Excellency, different countries on the African continent became players in the industry at different times. Also, some started big, while others started moderate or small. These factors make for differences in experiences and expertise or capacities among various countries. It is high time we admitted these differences and took advantage of the offer to learn from each other, especially from those who have accumulated many years of experience. I am pleased to acknowledge that there is already bilateral understanding among African countries on this issue. As a former advisor on international energy relations in the Office of the Minister for Petroleum Resources of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am aware that several African countries have sent teams to Nigeria to understudy various aspects of the oil and gas industry, including the Nigerian local content delivery model in the past 10 years. What has been missing is a continental initiative like this, and that is why I commend the organizers of this initiative. I want to state categorically that the era of going it alone in the industry on this continent is gone. The foreign financiers and experts and their technologies are gradually leaving us. We need to pull resources together before it is too late. Together, we have what it takes to lengthen the life of oil, if not for the global market, at least to energize our continent, which has over 600 million of its people living without access to modern energy. The elders are wise when they say that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go with others. Yes, we want the life of oil, the mainstay of our national economies, to last for as long as possible to enable us use its revenue to effectively diversify our economies. Apple appreciates these challenges and has commissioned a study on the future of the oil and gas industry in Africa in the light of COVID-19 and COP21. The outcome of that study will assist us develop a long-term strategy for the industry on our continent. This initiative, we believe, is so important for the future of the industry in Africa that we do not think that one member country alone should be saddled with the responsibility of organizing it. This is a project that Apple will be happy to co-sponsor and ensure it is institutionalized to be held across member countries at regular intervals. I would like to appeal to participants at this inaugural roundtable to strive to begin to lay a solid foundation for the design of an African local content program. And they have in member country Nigeria an excellent example. Although unforeseen developments have prevented me from joining you in person, I am with you in spirit. And given the importance that we attach to this project, Apple has sent a delegation led by its Director of Research. Our delegation has been mandated to engage participants on the way forward for this very important initiative. Once again, Apple thanks the organizers of this very important roundtable and wish you all very successful deliberations. I thank you for your kind attention.